Hello everyone, we are come from group 3 for this season. We are presenting about theory by Newmark about equivalent effect. Now, first of all, before we are going to the material. Yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Atali Sizaluko and my partner is.
Hello, my name is Desin Novitaya Ginting and I'm from Group 3.
Hello, my name is Gita Marus Kasih Tanggal and I'm from Group 3.
My name is Prangadita Purba and my registration number is 18120056 and I'm from Group E.
I'm Laura Tricia Manalu. We are from Group 3.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Atali Zaluko. Now for this session, we are from Group 3 explain about the theory by Newmark about equivalent effect. Nah, according to Newmark, yeah, in 1988, yeah, it has sometimes been said that the overriding purpose of any translation, yeah, should be to achieve equivalent effect, ya. Kadang-kadang dalam teori Newmark ini mengatakan bahwa kadang-kadang telah dikatakan bahwa tujuan utama dari setiap terjemahan harus mencapai efek yang setara, ya, the equivalent effect, ya. Artinya adalah to produce the same effect, ya, dalam translation ini, yang artinya ya atau sedekat mungkin, ya, or one as close as possible, ya, in translation. On the readership of the translation as was obtained on the readership of the original, ya, ya, pada pembaca terjemahan seperti yang diperoleh dari pembaca original. And next, Peter Newmark, ya, is another specialist whose ideas had a great impact on the development of translation theory. Ya, ya, Peter Newmark adalah seorang spesialis lain, ya, yang idenya berdampak besar, ya, pada perkembangan teori penerjemahan. Ya, he steps away from Nida's ideas of recipient, yeah, oriented translation and change the vision of equivalence in translation. Ya, dia mengembangkan suatu steps yang menjauh dari gagasan Sinida tentang terjemahan berorientasi penerima dan mengubah fisik kesetaraan dalam terjemahan. And then Newmark develops ideas of communicative and semantic translation in contrast to literal translation. Ya, Newmark juga mengembangkan ide-ide baru tentang terjemahan komunikatif, ya. Newmark develops ideas or communicative and semantic translation in contrast, ya, to literal translation, ya, yang pada dasarnya, ya, as not living ideas of equivalence and literal translation, ya, tidak meninggalkan ide kesetaraan dan terjemahan literal dalam terjemahan. Okay, I think that's all explanation for me. It's continued by my friends. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Desin Novitaya Ginting and I will continue discuss about equivalent effect by Newmark. According to Newmark, translation is rendering the meaning of a text into another language in the way that the author intended a text. First thing first, we have to know that translations has been widely discussed many times in translation studies. And basically, translation is important in our daily life, even we don't realize it. For example, we want to know a new information. Let's say in English language, the informations from English language. But we don't understand English language at all. So we want to transfer the informations from English language to our language that we understand. Let's say Indonesia. When we transfer the information, let's say English language is the source text and Indonesian language is the target text. When the language has changed, it doesn't mean the meaning is changed too. Because in translation, when we translate the language without reducing the meaning, it's the translation's work. Next is translation equivalence effect is an important concept of translation theory. This is one of the main principles of Western theory of translation. Finding translations equivalent is one of the core problems of the translation process. The concept of equivalence was used to distinguish the difference between free and literal translation. So in this slide, say that translation is equivalence effect is important and main theory of translation. Is this right? Translation is equivalent effect is the most important element of translation because in this level of equivalence we can see the correspondence between meaning and style from the source text, so we can create the natural meaning. So what does it mean? It means that the effect produced by a translation on its audience, it should be close, similar as possible to the natural effect, so that the reader, when they read the information that has been translated from the source text, recipients in the source language to the target text. Next, we'll continue by speaker 3.
Okay, there are three parts of the equivalent effect. The first one is cultural equivalent, and the second is functional equivalent, and the third is descriptive equivalent. And now I'll try to explain about cultural equivalent. The first one is definition of cultural equivalent according to Newmark in 1988 in page 82 until 83. Newmark states is an approximate translation where a SL or source language cultural word is translated by a TL or target language cultural word, di mana terjemahan perkiraan kata budaya diterjemahkan juga dengan kata budaya namun tidak akurat. Example, SL or source language. Ketika bawahannya menawarkan diri mencarikan dukun, ia hanya berucap terima kasih. And in target language, when his employees offered to find a medicine man for him, he just politely declined.
Okay, I will continue, my friends. Now it's about functional equivalent according to Newmark in 1988, page 83. States this technique is used when there is a cultural word has no TL equivalent. This common procedure that applies to cultural words requires the use of a cultural free word, sometimes with a new specific term. Therefore, it neutralizes or generalizes the SL word. This technique is the most accurate way of translating a cultural word. So, from this text, it can be concluded that functional equivalent, it requires the use of a cultural neutral word. Functional equivalent, it is necessary to use neutral cultural word. And for the example is in Israel, ketika kecil sampai remaja, ia bisa sembahyang dan pembagian 5 waktu menetap dalam kesadarannya seperti jam matahari. And then in TL, As a girl, she used to perform the 5 daily prayers, a making of time by attitude of the sun. Okay, I think that's all, and for the next, we'll continue by my friends. Thank you.
Well, I will explain the last theory, that is descriptive equivalent. According to Newmark, 1988, translating a source language or text word using a descriptive of the concept it refers to in the target language. In this procedure, the meaning is explained in several words. In other words, descriptive equivalent is the meaning of the cultural words explained in few words. The first example is Chidak could be translated into the first day that Christmas brews are released in Denmark. And the second example is samurai, translated into the word of Japanese aristocracy from the 11th to the mid-19th century. And the last example is make a living, translate into usaha mencari mata pencaharian. And the last example that I found is destroyer is translated into kuda perang destroyer. Kuda perang as the description of destroyer. I think that's all. Thank you.